I believe Nashville's entrepreneurial spirit has a history that goes back 100 years, right? It isn't something that popped up in the last 15 years.
Nashville is a welcoming city with a thriving economy where it doesn't matter where you come from, you can come here and pursue your dreams and pursue your aspirations.
Nashville embraced us with open arms, and the way the entire community rallied against, around us and supported us, we were right home.
And I think one thing that makes Nashville so special is entrepreneurism is in its DNA. When you look at this community and you look at the success of this community, there were people that were willing to take a risk to solve a problem. But along their way, they continue to give their time and their money to help others. And they do want people to succeed. And it really is trying to figure out where you are on that entrepreneurial life cycle. We're not the startup center, we're the Entrepreneur Center. And so, there is a life cycle of an entrepreneur, and I view it from the time you have an idea, and I view it all the way to death, because I think once an entrepreneur, always an entrepreneur.
So my name is Janet Miller, and I am the CEO for Colliers International Nashville, which is one of the world's largest commercial real estate services firms. But prior to that, I worked for the Nashville Chamber of Commerce for 21 years and had the privilege of doing all the foundational work that started the Entrepreneur Center. So I've been there since it was an idea, and I just couldn't be prouder of how this organization has emerged over the last 10 years. And you take it from the Ryman, who started the Ryman Auditorium, you look at book publishing, you look at finance, but really the rich spirit of entrepreneurship goes back to the Frist family, Jack Massey, that whole bunch in the 60s and 70s. And that honestly is one of the reasons why we felt like this community needed the Nashville Entrepreneur Center, because despite all these amazing entrepreneurial stories, there wasn't a front door or a kind of energy center so that if you were any kind of an entrepreneur with any kind of a startup idea, there wasn't a place to start. Some of those just legendary entrepreneurs are the ones who came together to form the concept for this place. We got 70 of those guys in a room and said, what's missing? And that's how this place was founded. And it never would have been founded if it wasn't for that history and that spirit, because I think the business history of Nashville is anchored in entrepreneurship. It didn't happen yesterday. It's been here for hundreds of years.
Everybody has been incredibly supportive, and that has inculcated in me the Nashville sense of hospitality, which is just pay it forward. So whoever asks anything, we're like, yeah, of course, we'll do it. Nashville, Tennessee was the best choice that we made for ourselves, our restaurant family, and our family.
In some ways, it's never been more difficult to be an entrepreneur, but in some ways, it's never been better to be an entrepreneur. I do believe that entrepreneurs are at the heart problem solvers, and innovation is at the core of what is going to solve the problems as we come out of where we are.
I would say that yes, in general, Nashville and across the state, there is a sense of collaboration that doesn't exist in other parts of the country. I mean, you have a good idea that's going to impact society for the better, whatever that may be, then chances are you will find someone or organizations or individuals or companies that will support the government, that will support you in that dream. And so the support system for entrepreneurs and innovators that we have built over the last decade across the state and in Nashville is certainly conducive to people trying new things, pursuing their dreams, pushing their ideas forward.
So I think the entrepreneurial spirit just is woven into the history of this town. And that's why I think organizations like Launch Tennessee and the Entrepreneur Center are such great culminations of hundreds of years of entrepreneurial spirit.